If I am at all lucky, my cat will keep the mouse at bay for use of the video at the beginning of this video. Alright, so this is a pretty standard hilt that most everyone has probably seen a million billion times, and it's produced by LGT. But I ordered a weather version of this Acolyte style hilt from Exegol Outpost, which explains the beginning of this video with Kylo Ren flying to Exegol. Yes, a rather nonsensical movie, but nonetheless, gets the point across. So as you can see, this has been weathered up, leathered up, and just overall, given the treatment, the biz, as it were. Now, I purchased mine empty. You have the option of getting this with, are you gonna knock this down? No, please don't knock this down. You can get this empty or with a RGBX core, or you can get this with, I believe, Xenopixel, or Xenopixel, or Xenopixel, however you want to pronounce it. And of course, this is all weathering that I could have done myself, but being perennially lazy, I opted to let them do it for me. And for the most part, I like the work that they've done. I'm not going to get too much into the weeds as far as the specs of this hilt, but the length on screen, just so you know what you're getting into. One thing to be aware of, when I purchased mine, I was expecting a round hole for the recharge port. But as you can see, I actually received one with a square recharge port, which dictated the type of core that I needed to purchase for the saber. And I purchased my core from Vire Sabers. I like the service that Vire Sabers provides, quick shipping, and their price is quite excellent. And yes, my cat is present, and he's destroying the universe, as he usually does. Anyway, so yeah, so here's a little video showing how how to order exactly what you need to order from Vire Sabers in order to get the right core. So you just go to Vire Sabers website and select the electronics from the variable hilt components section. And from there, you're going to go to the standard electronics core on the left. And then you have to select the electronics type. You have to choose between baselit and pixel, depending on what you want. So I chose baselit. And the type of core is the RGBX version 3. And then after that, you just have to select your recharge port. And then you can select an adapter if you need one, or if you don't need one. It's strictly up to you. Now, one thing to be aware of, when I ordered mine, I was under the impression by the photo that you will see somewhere here that indicated that this hilt was going to come with a covertick wheel, but it did not come with a covertick wheel. So I had to kind of go through a bit of a back and forth with the owner of Exegol, and eventually I received a covertick wheel. They had already tapped a drill hole for the covertick. They just had forgotten to add it. Or it's actually, you buy the hilt from Exegol and then it goes to another place where the weathering occurs, and that's where the transgression occurred. Not much of a transgression. And what happened was they ended up sending me several covertick wheels and some timing shims so I could get the alignment just so. Yeah, and all's well that ends well. See, the key thing with the timing shims was getting the emitter section to kind of line up nicely with the switch section. And then I just so well, it just so happens that I ended up getting the CoverTech wheel, which I can't quite get into the angle of the shot. You can see it there, more or less lined up with everything else. It's kind of a symmetry thing. It's not all that important. I could have dealt with the switch being on the side or the CoverTech wheel being on the side. It didn't really matter too much. Um, as far as how this is constructed, this is one piece, switch section is another. Then you have um, your grip section and then the pommel. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. The blade is the standard blade that came with this hilt. Actually, that's a lie. I didn't actually receive a blade with this hilt. I ordered one. I ordered this without one. But this is I believe, an LGT style blade, and I have it secured with 1, 2, 3 blade retention screws, and it's in there so tight that I just didn't want to remove it. One issue I did have with the core, and this has nothing to do with Exegol Outpost, was the core. It's a little bit unpredictable in its performance. I had to take the core apart because there was a wire, I think, that was being pinched, and it was causing color changes at random sometimes. And it happens every once in a while. It's not too much of an issue, but it is there. And I was going back and forth with Vire Sabers, and they kept wanting evidence and more evidence and more evidence. And then they wanted to make suggestions about how to, fix it. And I did this and I did that. And then they wanted more. And it just got to the point where, just replace it, please. And I wasn't getting to that point with them. And I'm not going to knock them for that. They were trying. But I just settled upon this core. And I rightly couldn't use another core because this core, came specifically with the USB-C style adapter. So, I'm kind of stuck with it. But it works all right, as you'll see in just a moment.
Power on.
Now, the gesture controls work.
The fallen. The count. The high ground. Roachnart. Princess. Scavenger. Emperor.
Serenity, the Second, Dark Ages.
The Dark Sword. The Dark Lord.
I usually keep this on the Dark Lord. But I use blue for my blade color. And the switch is a little flighty. Sometimes it stops working. I have to turn the saber off and on again to get the start up. So it's a standard LGT RGBX Core version 3. So, it has all the tricks, nothing that you're probably not aware of. But it's a nicely handling hilt. Long enough for single-handed use, light enough for single-handed use. Good enough for double-handed use. Just a well-rounded hilt, and with the weathering, it looks quite nice. And at the price, not too bad. If you get a core from Vire Sabers, I'm sure that whatever you get for a core from them won't have the same issues mine has, which I'm not demoing here because you don't need to. You don't need to see that. It's a thing.